Am I the asshole for punishing my son for how he reacted to my pregnancy announcement? IF 36 divorced my ex-husband 6 years ago. We have a 16-year-old son together, Jamie. I remarried to my current husband and have a 10-year-old stepson Nick. Jamie and Nick are close and get along most of the time as well. Nick depends on Jamie in a lot of things like helping him do homework, fix and organize his toys, cleaning his room etc. Things have been going great till Jamie started seeing this girl who kept claiming that my husband and I are parentifying him by having him do things for Nick and seemed to be filling his head with nonsense about us taking from Jamie his time and not letting him live like other kids his age. My husband had a stern talk to her which caused Jamie to get into a fight with him. Things have been bad since then. I recently found out that I'm pregnant. We wanted to wait till all Mount family were together so we could make the announcement. We did it this past Sunday, and everyone was happy and excited for us except for Jamie, who remained quiet for few minutes then loudly asked, "So am I expected to take care of this one as well?" My husband and I were shocked. We didn't know what to do. My husband stormed out and I started arguing with Jamie asking him why he said that. He said that because it was the truth. He feels as if he has some type of responsibility towards Nick because of the things he has to do for him and felt that he'll do the same for his half-sibling. I told him this is his girlfriend spouting nonsense and brainwashing him cause we expect nothing of him, and he was wrong to say that we do. I had to punish him for ruining the announcement and making a scene and making my husband upset. He thought that it wasn't fair he had to get punished for stating an opinion. He blamed my husband for filling my head too, but my husband is innocent in this except he knew that that girl is being rude and intrusive. It's been few days and Jamie has gone completely silent about the whole thing. You are the asshole, the girlfriend was right. Raising Nick is not Jamie's responsibility, and neither is he a free nanny for you to keep avoiding your responsibilities as parents. ETA. Oh my. The votes, the comments, the awards, thank you for all. So glad that we all see this post with the same eyes. You are the asshole. Why haven't you taught your 10-year-old how to put away his toys or clean his room on his own? You are the asshole. Your son is right. Helping his brother clean and doing his homework shouldn't be his duty, it's yours. And he's right to be upset seeing himself become a free babysitter for your new one. BTW parentification is a real issue older siblings have to deal with and isn't a rare reason people do not want children in the future. Seen this reasoning a lot over at my fellow childfree. You are the asshole. Yes, you are making him be a parent instead of letting him being a 16-year-old. Helping him do homework, fix and organize his toys and cleaning his room. Why does a 16-year-old need to help a 10-year-old with this? This is either your job, your husband's or Nick's. Jamie no doubt feels that Nick is the favorite and he is stressed about what he needs to do. Rather than talking to him and making sure he feels loved, you lashed out. Very much you are the asshole. You are the asshole. Why aren't you and your husband helping Nick with his homework, which is actually the only item that might have made sense for a sibling to do? Why is Jamie fixing and organizing Nick's toys, and why is Nick incapable of cleaning his own room? It sounds like there is more to what you're disclosing, and that Jamie is only realizing that you've pawned off many of your parental duties to Nick onto him. You are the asshole for more reasons than the obvious. First off, Jamie clearly feels obligated to do those things for Nick, so you need to sit down with him and tell him clearly that you do not expect those things from him, that you thought he enjoyed doing them, and that if he wants to not do something all he needs to do is tell you and you, as the parents, will take over that duty. The other thing you're an asshole for is not telling Jamie about the baby privately before you shared it with extended family. As a member of the household and immediate family, he had a right to be told before everyone else was. By blindsiding him in front of everyone, you set it up for it to be ruined. He was in shock and most likely hurt that you don't feel he is special enough to deserve to be told first. 16-year-olds really aren't close with 10-year-olds like that. It sounds like your son is being parentified and you are relying on him to parent your stepson. Step up and take care of your kids. You are the asshole. You are the asshole for expecting your son to take care of his stepbrother. YTA for blaming his girlfriend for pointing out the obvious. And most importantly for posting about parentification thinking you'd be anything other than ta. Am I the asshole for not waking up my girlfriend resulting in her being late for her first day of work? My 22M girlfriend, 22F, loves to sleep. If she isn't doing something important, she sleeps. She will nap throughout the day, and it's literally impossible to wake her up. She doesn't wake up from an alarm clock and uses me instead. I wouldn't mind, but she literally makes it such a hassle to even get her out of bed. I have to first wake her up from her initial sleep, come back a bit later and shake her again, then finally pick her up and make her stand before she finally gets up. This has been going on for some time now, and she's never had a real reason to urgently get up. I've never mentioned having an issue with this besides maybe getting a bit frustrated sometimes. A couple days ago she had to get up the next morning for her first day of work in a corporate office. She made me promise that I'd get her up on time. I said I'd try and she said I need to promise her. I told her I'd try again and she kept stressing how important it was for her to get up. The next morning rolls around and I'm trying to nudge her awake. Doesn't work. I sit her up, she falls back down. I even stood her up out of bed, and when I came back up to our room she was laying in the bed again. I shook her one final time and she said something in gibberish that made zero sense. I gave up and just watched as the time went by. She came down an hour after she told me to wake her up and she was running around the house trying to get ready. She ended up being late, and when she came home she was mad at me. LMFAO. I was in shock. I told her I can't believe she was blaming me. She told me that I made her a promise, and I told her that I'd try. I tried, and even after explaining everything and how I tried to wake her up, she said that it's my fault. We got into an argument and she said that she can't rely on me, and if I had a problem with this system then I should have said something. Okay, who the fuck wants to be someone's personal human alarm clock that doesn't even work half the time? She's a full-grown adult and it shouldn't be my responsibility to always wake her up. She told me if I was an adult I would have brought up this issue with her before. Nah, I still don't see how this is my fault at all. Regardless of if I had an issue with this or not, I did what she asked me to do and it didn't work. No matter how I explain this to her, she refuses to see it my way and just says, "I made you promise me, am I the asshole?" I really don't think I am. Sounds like a health issue, see a GP. Not the asshole. She can't rely on me. No, she really can't. It's her job, and her life, and ultimately her responsibility to make sure she wakes up on time, because that's what being an adult requires. What's her plan for if you're out of town? Demand someone else come over to play alarm clock? Why hasn't she taken the initiative to see a doctor, if normal measures aren't working? She told me if I was an adult I would have brought up this issue with her before. If she was an adult she'd get the fuck out of bed on time when she has someplace important to be. Honestly, if she's that incapable of waking up when she needs to, this is a medical issue and she needs to be taking responsibility for that by seeking help, not offloading all the labor of dealing with her condition onto you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. She needs some kind of help though, this is not normal. Info. Has she talked to her doctor about this? Not the asshole. I dated a very wonderful woman for a little while who had been diagnosed with hypersomnia. What you are describing seems to fit that woman exactly, except she had learned not to rely on people, and took medication so it wasn't so pronounced. I do believe that other respondents here are correct in that you've enabled her even though you've had the best intentions. That means you have allowed the full responsibility to fall on you, when it really should be hers as a grown woman. This obviously is a conversation that should be had between the two of you, and she definitely needs to get checked out by not only her GP, but possibly a neurologist. Stop enabling her. Yes, she is an asshole for making you her alarm clock. But you've done so reliably for a while, so I see why she expected you to do so again this particular morning. She's right, by all accounts you have been fine with this and should have brought it up prior. You're right that this is ridiculous. Stop doing it. Don't try. Don't let her think you are promising. Be direct. Tell her no. Let her figure it out. You should have said something before if you didn't want to wake her. She needs to see a doctor because this is not normal. I know you say she's seen a doctor and they've diagnosed her as lazy, but she needs to see someone because this is not normal. What if there was an emergency? If there was a fire while she was sleeping and waking her up is practically impossible, then she's going to die. Am I the asshole for stealing my friend's life? I am 24 years old, girl, and I used to live with my friend, Amy, before I found a better apartment that I could pay for by myself. I went on a brunch with Amy a few weeks ago and we talked about work and finding jobs for our degrees. We have the same degree, went to the same school together, which is how we met, and that's why we lived together for some time. Well, Amy was talking about this interview for a position at a company that had a few spots open that fit our degree, what we wanted to do. She suggested that it would be great if we both applied and would be awesome to work together, and I agreed. Well, later that day I looked up what she was talking about and applied for the job and got an interview the next week. I texted Amy and she just sent me a thumbs up emoji and that was it. So I get to the interview and I nail it. They loved my entire resume and everything I had done since graduating. After that I go to the company coffee shop where I met a guy who also works in a field similar to mine and I'm hoping we become something serious. 2 days later I had dinner with Amy telling her that I got the job and how I smashed the interview and about the new guy. Well, Amy then angrily tells me how I need to shut up and that I swiped her dream job away from her. She told me she already told everyone about the job and then the company called her back saying she wasn't what they looking for anymore. That she basically had the job until I came and ruined everything and she was supposed to meet the guy of her dreams and instead I took that from her. I told her that it was her idea that I apply and she said she was only joking. She then left the dinner and texted me after that I was an asshole and I need to give up my job position to make this better. Am I the asshole? Edit. I wasn't aware she didn't get the job until after she yelled at me. That's when I realized, I wasn't telling her to rub it in her face, I was just excited to tell her. She also didn't say it in a joking manner, we were seriously talking about us working together. There were also 4 positions open. Amy then angrily tells me how I need to shut up and that I swiped her dream job away from her. That she was supposed to get the job and she was supposed to meet the guy of her dreams and instead I took that from her. 100% not the asshole. Amy needs to shut her jealous entitled ass up. That is ridiculous and petty. Not the asshole, Amy was in no way guaranteed to get the job. If you hadn't have interviewed, any one of the other prospects could have gotten it instead of her. She's upset she didn't get the job and jealous of you. That guy may not become your boyfriend, so that's a silly thing to freak out over. She learned a valuable lesson about not telling others about where she's interviewing to reduce competition for herself. You only point out potential jobs when you aren't interested in it for yourself or you are gainfully and happily employed. Now, when you find out a friend didn't get their dream job, you should know that's not the time to go on about how happy and grand things are going for yourself. It's called having some tact, knowing your audience, and having a bit of empathy. Not the asshole. Your friend seems to think that she was offered a job and then you interviewed and her spot was offered to you instead. That's not how really recruitment works. If they've filled the role, they don't keep looking. That takes time and resources that can be better spent on other things. Congrats on the new job. Live your life, be successful and forget about her. Not the asshole Amy sounds. Well, Amy sounds insane. Enjoy your job. Give Amy the space to get her balance back and maybe apologize to you for her jealous, over-the-top response. Ignore inappropriate requests of hers to sabotage your own success to make her feel better. Not the asshole. Why would she tell you to apply if there was only one open position? Sounds like a her problem. Not the asshole. The position is not Amy's and you quitting will not guarantee that she gets it anyways. She suggested that it would be great if we both applied and would be awesome to work together. Not the asshole. She was supposed to get the job and she was supposed to meet the guy of her dreams and instead I took that from her. WTF. Amy is having trouble adjusting and needs to talk to someone about that. Am I the asshole for getting upset at the jokes that I am not family? This is my first ever post and I do apologize for my bad typing as I am still sobbing while typing this. I, p. 29 female, am 4 months pregnant with my fiancé Ems, 34 male, and my first child. His family on the whole are very welcoming and often include me except for some comments that they make that really hurt my feelings. These comments always refer to me not being a part of the family. At our engagement, his parents wanted to throw it for us. Party I made a speech saying thank you to the best-in-laws and his mom made a statement in front of everyone how, I shouldn't say that as we are not family yet. I would like to add that his mom has had a few phone calls with M's ex-girlfriend in front of me where she would reminding the ex that they are family. 2 days ago the mom said that she wanted family photos but could only do it once my baby was born as I won't be family until then. The whole family then proceeds to tell me how we mustn't be too sure that we are having a boy and I am not allowed to buy boys' clothes. They rained on our parade as we were happy with the news. We would have been thrilled either way. And feel like it is because they thought we were going to have a girl. M at first told me that they are joking with me and that they wouldn't if I wasn't family when I tried to talk to him about him. He has recently started to see things from my side when I pointed out my family doesn't do this. Go to today. I am on a family group and the uncle posts this exact message, Dear family and P I want to have a get-together for my BD and was planning a day out in the countryside on Sunday. Is everyone available and p. I sobbed and lost it. I phoned M and said I am leaving the group. Before I left I replied, sorry, but I have family things that day, and exited. His uncle thinks that I can't take a joke. M supports me with this and understands why I am hurt, but a part of me feels like maybe I overreacted, and what if I just can't take a joke? Am I the asshole? Update. M's mom phoned to say how awful that message from his uncle was and how she is glad I stood up for myself, which was very ironic. M actually took the phone call and set things, and boundaries, straight with his parents. Turns out in the last few days M's sister also told his mother that M's ex and her mother are not family and stood up for me. Things are looking much brighter. Added. I wanted to say a massive thank you to you all. I am a person who backs down easily and always wants to keep the peace. This has helped me to realize that when things are not okay, then change them, and it is okay to set things right with them so he can sort it with his family. All this thinking of family has me thinking of Vin Diesel FATF memes, to be honest, and I am having a good giggle. Not the asshole. This hurts that the unmarried ex-girlfriend is considered family. And appears that she still is. And you're not. Does M have children with the ex-girlfriend? Not the asshole. Don't invite them to any baby related since they're not family. Where's your husband, fiancé in all this? Why can't he have your back? Not the asshole at all. Even if this is supposed to be some big joke, they have taken things way too far. The mother on the phone with an ex telling her she is family, then turning to you and saying you aren't until you are married. Have a kid is so wrong. I don't even know where right is in that situation. I would say have your fiancé explain to his family that this needs to stop, as it isn't funny, and to be blunt, it's cruel. I wish you and your family the best and hope you have a happy and healthy child. Not the asshole. You just can't take a joke is almost always the hallmark of an a-hole. It's only a joke if both parties think it's funny. Also, you're pregnant. Why they feel the need to rib you about this in the first place is beyond me. I wonder if, once the baby is born, this will really go away, or if they'll just hone in on something else. Not the asshole and play them at their own game. Not family? Not invited to wedding. Not family? Not invited to see newborn. Not family? Don't call yourselves grandparents, aunts, uncles etc. to baby. Not family? Not receiving cards etc. for birthdays, Christmas etc. Give them the exact same treatment someone who is not family would receive, i.e., bog all. What a very weird way to treat someone who clearly is family. I'd be distancing myself from them. And your partner needs to make it very clear to them that you and the baby are his family and his priority. Not the asshole. I actually think your response was great. Can't he take a joke? From now on you should start dishing it out. Sorry Mill, I'm only inviting family to meet the baby in the first month. You understand, right? The way you responded to the group chat was perfect. Don't let it get to you. Just start using it to your advantage. Not the asshole. They are the assholes, not you. Were they doing and saying stuff like that before you got pregnant? Not the asshole. That sounds toxic AF. Your fiancé should have put his foot down when this started. You Mill sounds like the biggest awe. Why is she attached to the ex? Look out for yourself. Go no contact or low contact with these people, and also keep them from visiting your child. After all, they are not family, right?